Fedor, coming off his first loss in 9 years, looks for redemption against one of the biggest men in the sport, Antonio Silva.
Antonio Silva overcame the affliction known as giantism or acromegaly to become one of the sport's top heavyweights. He moves incredibly well for a big man, and his ground game is something that could give the great Fedor fits. In Fedor Emelianenko's last fight, the last emperor fought another Brazilian in Fabricio Verdum and suffered the first legitimate loss of his career. He is ready and focused for tonight's return to the cage, but can he overcome the size difference and huge challenge presented by Bigfoot?
This tournament is very special. We have the top heavyweights in the world, the fighters who I respect a lot and have followed their careers.
This fight is very important. The winner of this tournament will be the best heavyweight in the world. I want to make my family proud.
For my whole career, I've known only the happiness of victory. In my last fight, I suffered my first real loss. I think it made me stronger. I learned that in life, anything can happen.
Fedor can beat you at any time. So I have to be ready for everything. I'm working a lot on my stance, my footwork, and my striking. I must fight the perfect fight in order to win.
Antonio Silva is a very strong, very serious opponent. He isn't afraid to fight. He doesn't back up, and he has a dangerous knockout punch. It will be a spectacular and exciting fight.
Fedor is the best fighter in the world. He's a legend. To be a legend, I must to beat a legend.
And please welcome to the cage, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
Antonio Bigfoot Silva, he put it best, very simple. In order to become a legend, I have to beat a legend.
Yes, and he has an opportunity to do that tonight. And representing the great country of Brazil, he has the flag draped over his shoulders. He is sporting a logo on his trunks tonight, which reads Combat Athletes for Nova Friburgo, a non-profit organization formed to help raise money to support the relief effort in Nova Friburgo, Brazil, where mudslides have killed nearly 1,000 people. It's the hometown of Silva's manager, Alex Davis. And please do what you can to help out the people of Brazil. It's really affected the combat sports community, and I know Antonio Silva is dedicating this fight tonight to those people of Brazil.
What a good-hearted man, and I could tell that they were really hurting in that meeting, and they could tell that their hearts were hurting, and I mean, they really just said, anything you guys could do, anything you could say, you know, you got to help our people, and that was just a great moment for us. I don't really know what to say about it, but I can tell you what his key in the cage is. As the big man, he's got to get on top. If he gets on top of Fedor, Rogers did some good damage when he was on top of Fedor. If we can get on top of the mount, even in the guard, I think he's going to put a good beating on Fedor, and it might be enough to put him away or cut him.
Unlike Rogers, Antonio Bigfoot Silva, a BJJ black belt, so he has trained and knows how to finish.
Definitely, and as we mentioned, Fabricio Verdum pulled off the upset on Fedor, but even talking to his manager, Alex Davis, he thinks that the strength for Antonio Silva against Fedor is the top position, the ground and pound. Something, of course, Fedor knows very well, too.
And now, here he is, MMA's great Russian fighting machine, the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko.
Fedor makes the walk into the cage, and the question, great champions, great undefeated champions, Frank, how do they respond after their first loss?
Well, true champions get right back up and go right back at it. That's what a champion is.
And he is, without a doubt, the greatest heavyweight in mixed martial arts history. In the last decade, he went 28-0 with 1 no contest. During that time, he defeated 5 former UFC heavyweight champions, a former Pride heavyweight champion, 1 former Strikeforce champion, a K1 champion, and 2 Olympic medalists. You talk about Michael Jordan in basketball, Wayne Gretzky in hockey. This is the man in MMA. Say what you will about the loss against Fabricio Verdum. A loss does not define a career. He is one of the greatest fighters in the sport's history, and he is back in this tournament.
Well, for some people, a loss starts their career. That's what happened to me. I got my butt kicked, and it got me going. I don't know what it's going to do to Fedor. I think he's going to just be supercharged because of it. I don't think it's going to affect him at all. But who knows? He's Fedor. I know that he doesn't dream about fighting, and that to me is incredibly strange because I dreamt about fighting every single night for 15 years. His key in the cage tonight, in my opinion, is to stay off the ground. He does have 16 submissions. Over half of his fight, he has 1 on the ground. And I don't believe that's where he should be fighting tonight.
And they love him here in the New York metropolitan area. And that brings us to the tail of the tape. And Frank, he's given up height and he's giving up weight.
Reach, I mean, everything. All the numbers on this side go to Antonio Silva. He's the bigger man. He's got a bigger reach, and he's got 34 pounds on Fedor.
But Mauro, Fedor has faced bigger.
Oh, he's
heavier.
Semi Schilt, Hongman Choi. He's faced some of the biggest men in the sport, but somehow, some way, he always finds a way to win. And tonight, we'll see what is left in Fedor Emelianenko's tank.
Now, for the official introductions, let's go inside the cage and the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Izod Center at Strikeforce. M1 Global and Showtime present the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. Party like a rock star. We are sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the Chairman Tony Orlando, Commissioner Aaron Davis, Counsel Nick Lembo. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds of the quarterfinals in the Strikeforce Heavyweight World Grand Prix. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from East Rutherford, New Jersey, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6 feet 4 inches, he weighed in at 264 pounds. His record stands at 15 wins, 2 losses, with 10 knockouts and 3 submissions to his credit. From Campina Grande, Paraíba, Brazil, please welcome MMA's colossal sensation and the former heavyweight champion, Antonio Silva. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, really needing no introduction to MMA fans across the globe. Standing at 5 feet 11 1/2 inches, he weighed in at 230 pounds. His record includes 31 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. From Staryovskol, Russia, please welcome MMA's all-time great, the revered, the respected, the one and only Fedor Emelianenko. And your referee in charge now to give instructions, Dan Mergliata.
All right, fighters in the center, please. All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the locker room. You both understand the rules, correct? I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Good luck, both of you.
Fedor always so relaxed in the cage, so calm, Antonio Bigfoot Silva on the other side, the opportunity of a career.
Okay, are you ready, sir? Are you ready, sir? Let's go fight!
In 2004, Fedor Emelianenko defeated Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira to win the Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix. We talked a little bit about that at the fighter meetings, and immediately there is that overhand right that he's known for.
Fedor, wow, vicious.
He's coming out swinging for the fences.
Silva's got to move his head more and keep that right hand up real high when he throws that jab.
Oh, and he got caught with that counter, did Fedor.
Fedor keeps that left hand real low, and it's deceptive because you can't tell he's going to throw it, and he lifts it up in uppercut or hooking fashion.
Look at the size difference in the hands of Antonio Silva and Fedor Emelianenko.
Silva, a little tentative. Fedor, great at making adjustments on the fly, Frank.
Yeah, fantastic. And he just countered that sort of grip in that position on the cage where he doesn't want to be.
And this is the key that you talked about. This is where Antonio Silva, who I heard at fight time is at 285 pounds, a huge weight differential here, wanting to use the size to wear down Emelianenko.
And I believe he's got the skill and the conditioning to stay in there for a long time.
All right, break, separate. Turn around, let's go, fight.
Overhand right, left uppercut by Fedor.
But the one thing that's a little worrisome to me about Fedor is he's not setting up that overhand right. And he's already been marked up on his nose. I mean, this is a slugfest.
He just landed.
Oh, beautiful right hand by Silva that backs up Fedor.
Oh, and Silva waved him forward.
I'm surprised. Emelianenko's hands are very low here, Frank. Too low.
They're too low, but he's used them in the past to lure people in because you can't tell where they're coming from. It's a great deceptive ploy, but it leaves his head open for that long jab.
But how many times can you risk fate?
He's Fedor. He can do anything he wants.
We saw referee Mergliata not give him much of an opportunity to stay in this stalemate earlier. Silva has to get busier.
Yeah, that's Silva's responsibility to stay busy in this position if he wants to stay here and be active or remain here for any length of time.
Fedor's made a career out of taking beatings early. I think the fans are anticipating maybe a guillotine choke here.
He's trying to suck it up tight there, but that's an awful large neck. Well, he's putting a hold in.
And the two fighters go to the ground, and Fedor quickly stands up.
Those great hips. He squared his hips up, and he did not get taken down from that.
Yeah, the last time Fedor won via guillotine choke was back in 2001.
I don't know if I agree with Fedor going into this down position.
He also won his MMA debut via guillotine choke, and you're right, Fedor doesn't want to stay here. You know, he learned, I think, from the Fabricio Verdum fight. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Well, he's Fedor. He can do whatever he wants.
This is a recording.
Grounded pound by Fedor.
Oh, wow. Looking for the far side, Kimura. Against the BJJ black belt. Nice escape by Silva.
50 seconds remaining in the first round.
Yeah, great pace to this opening round. What a fight we're seeing here between Silva and Fedor Emelianenko.
Blood coming out of the nose of Fedor.
He took a big straight right as soon as his back hit the cage just a second ago.
This is where I think Silva needs to do a better job of creating that separation or delivering some short strikes, some knees from this vantage point. Show the referee that you're staying busy. Wow! goodness, what a flurry.
And the takedown by Silva with 10 seconds to go in the first.
And a competitive opening round it's been. Great start to this quarterfinal bout.
Great. Nice job, gentlemen. Good job.
A lot of bombs being landed in the first round.
Yeah, they wasted no time here. Fedor with just a massive upper hook, and Silva with that extra reach. He popped that right hand a few times, and it backed up. Fedor, look at Silva, wave him on, and they're just marching forward. And I don't like the way Fedor's got his back on the cage because he's taking shots there. He's a smaller guy. He needs to stay a little more mobile. He took that one right on the chin, and he's staying a little too close, in my opinion, to Big Silva.
Alistair Overeem, the Strikeforce heavyweight champion, cage side looking on. He'll fight Fabricio Verdum in his first fight.
It's off Dexter, I think. I think I saw that kid on Dexter.
I think so.
You talked about the reach advantage that Antonio Silva enjoys. 7.5-inch reach advantage, huge size advantage as well.
Are you ready? Let's go fight, guys.
Antonio Bigfoot Silva, over his last few fights, has been working on his boxing. Beautiful takedown.
Well timed by Silva, coming in underneath the overhand right and taking Fedor down, putting him on his back.
Yeah, very strategic move. I like that. Fedor was coming with the power on that punch, too.
I think a lot of people underestimated. I know the odds were something like 5.5 to 1, Fedor being the favorite. I mean, Antonio Silva is a BJJ black belt, a formidable striker, and again, size does play a factor. Fedor Emelianenko, for all of his strengths and all of his prowess, is an undersized heavyweight. He's finding that out in this fight.
And Silva's doing a good job of continually pressing through that guard and trying to advance his position. You can see his left leg hooked on the leg there of Fedor. He's opening up his legs and he's just marching forward.
Grandmaster in Sambo, self-defense without weapons, loosely translated from Russia. And the crowd, of course, a huge Russian contingent, Gus, chanting the Fedor name.
In the first round, they stood for 3 minutes and 55 seconds and were on the ground for 1 minute and 5. And now, Silva passing, getting to side control.
North-south now, and this could be dangerous for Fedor Emelianenko. Switches to the other side. Wow, knee on belly. This Silva very comfortable here.
And he mounted him easily.
Emelianenko, what I was worried about.
And these aren't hammer fists. These are sledgehammer fists, and he's got his back.
Oh, he stretched him out there. Fedor's got to get his back to the mat again. He's going to have to avoid the blows to do it.
We've seen Fedor Emelianenko in trouble before, going back to his Pride days against Kazuyuki Fujita.
And the energy it takes to roll over like that and push through Silva's weight, that's going to fatigue him out.
He's going for the choke. Emelianenko in all kinds of trouble, eating these hammer fists.
He's got to get his feet on that cage. That's too big of a man on top of him. He needs a little more height to get that and take advantage of it.
And we still have 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in this second round. The great champion in trouble.
Silva.
Ground and pound. Fedor looks defenseless now. This could be about to end. Antonio Bigfoot Silva putting it on the great Fedor Emelianenko.
Silva is absolutely manhandling, dominating Fedor Emelianenko.
And he should side choke Fedor right here. He should trap his arm and side choke him.
And that's what he's going for.
That's what he should do.
Going for the arm triangle choke.
That's a big
Fedor's
man.
in trouble.
If he could get his body, if Silva can get his body to the side, he's going to choke him out.
Size matters, my friends. We're seeing it here
And
tonight.
There he goes. That's really bad positioning. He is choking him with his own arm there.
Fedor.
That's a bad
The
spot.
crowd is sitting on pins and needles. They're stunned at what they're seeing.
Silva's got to get that arm a little further across his face.
And Fedor turns out of it. Wow.
The crowd explodes here in New Jersey. A nice escape A round dominated by Antonio Silva.
And Emelianenko exhausted, hanging on for dear life with 1 minute and 20 to go in the second round. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. This is the Strikeforce Grand Prix heavyweight tournament on Showtime. Antonio Bigfoot Silva said he needed to beat a legend, to become a legend, and right now he's in good shape with 1 minute to go.
How did you score the first round, Frank? Because it was very competitive. This one obviously belongs to Antonio Silva.
Yeah, I would have, I don't know about the first round. I might have given it to Fedor, but this one is all Silva.
Is there an argument for a 10-8 round because of the near submission?
Could be. What's hard to tell is to fight out of a choke is a tremendous movement. Oh, knee bar! He's in a knee bar. Now that knee's just below his groin, so it's not exactly on it, but that's gotta hurt.
26 seconds to go. Emelianenko's eyes swollen.
And Emelianenko's gonna go for a leg lock. He's going for a Sambo leg lock.
The Grandmaster in Sambo.
Not affecting Silva at all.
He's gonna try to break the Bigfoot.
6 seconds.
Nope.
Not at all. He'll just wait.
What
a round.
Dominant round by Antonio Silva. His right eye is a mess.
Oh, it's almost closed.
Wow, if he can't see, I mean.
I can't find it, we can't see.
Referee Merguliana has waved off the fight. They're stopping the fight. They've stopped
it. They have stopped it.
They've stopped this fight. Antonio Silva has won. Unbelievable.
Don't let him. Don't let him.
This is a stunning turn of events.
Fedor doesn't know.
This is your fight. This is your...
Silva just found out.
I mean, his eye is swollen shut.
He can't fight.
There seems to be confusion in the cage. I saw referee Dan Merguliana wave it off. Antonio Silva has advanced to the semifinals of this Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix.
And I don't think Silva knows.
I don't think he knows.
Now they do.
Now he does.
Now he does. Amazing.
Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
A huge win, and Gus, you said it best. In order to become a legend, you have to defeat one, and he put a beating on Fedor Emelianenko. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what? He had a very smart game. He used that reach, he popped that jab, and then they got in there.
And like I say, sure, make Fedor the favorite based on performance and whatnot. How could this guy have been a 5-1 underdog is beyond me. The size, he's been underestimated far too long. The biggest win of his career, Antonio Bigfoot Silva, a tremendous victory, improving to 16-2. And moving to the Final Four along with Sergey Karatanov tonight. Let's see this moment here between the two fighters.
Wow, he bowed to him. That's respect.
Ultimate respect to a legend. An amazing display of respect and sportsmanship from a very gracious victor.
Well, it was the bad positioning, one, but more so the hammer fist that just continued to beat down poor Fedor, and his face shows it. I mean, look at him. Silva's just holding his head down and punching him in place, letting him roll around. he wasn't getting out of that position. Every time he rolled over, he opened his legs, he let him get the back, he choked him a little bit, and he just rode him, stretched him out.
How much did size play a factor in this fight?
This was all size. I mean, take nothing from Silva.
No, the technique
Silva
was
is an awesome fighter, but when you talk about 34 pounds in this sport, that is
34,
that's
almost 40 plus, I bet.
That's just hard, man. And the punching difference. When you talk about you punch someone with 40 extra pounds behind your fist.
At this stage of his career, can Fedor make the move down to light heavyweight?
Oh, here's Silva.
Can he make that move down to 205?
I don't know. Let's see it. Let's see the reaction. Come on, here, let's see him. This is what it's about, man. Yeah, baby.
Tremendous win for Antonio Bigfoot Silva. 2 losses in a row, both via submission for Fedor Emelianenko. And Jimmy Lennon Jr. now has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doctor stops this contest at the end of round number 2 with Fedor unable to see out of his right eye. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. Continuing to the semifinals of the Strikeforce Heavyweight World Grand Prix, Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
All right, first of all, folks, what an incredible performance by these 2 warriors in the cage tonight. Fedor, Bigfoot Silva, please, let's give them a round of applause for leading.